Один, два, три, четыре. Привет, everyone! Меня зовут Ada. I wanted to start in Russian because my Russian friend Nadia suggested this. And you know, it is lovely to be here. And I want to say thank you to all my Russian friends, included Luana, to throwing such lovely organization. And it is amazing to see how united our community is here. And also, as our founder of Republic, Mustafa Kemal Atatürk, said, the one who feels them or his or herself Turk and says that I am Turk is Turk. Our country is your country. Welcome here. And my speech today will be about the root of our psychological, the psychological root of our actions and our, psychological root of our actions and the inspiration, its root and evolve of this. And I want to start with your ancestors, actually, the older ones, because it all started with a question: what if? For the long time ago, your first hominid ancestor, for the first time, started to see environment differently and asked the question: what if? What if I use these two rocks to make fire? And this question consists inspiration in it. Inspiration was our input, because with the rise of critical thinking, humankind started to refine the data that is taken from environment and started to understand how to and why to use a tool to achieve a goal by using this taken data. And our taken data was inspiration. But this input was taken from nature though, and we soon became dominant on nature, which was our biggest irony. And our input inspiration was refined on the factory called the mind by the machines called critical thinking. And we started to use this, but the machines started to immediately refine our, interpret our input differently. And the reason of this was that our factory hadn't got no audit, any check or control, so that everything was legal there. And some unpredictable outcomes came, such as philosophical thought. It was unpredictable because it was even actually contrary to one of our survival skills and do daily tasks. And our predictable data, the predictable outcome was actually on survival skills. It was producing some scientific or engineering or artistic products because we need them to take our place in environment safe. We wanted to guarantee our place as humankind. But something went wrong because as we create some products, the sophistication of those products also advanced by time. And the irony was born at this exact point because since it was the sophistication of those products evolved, also the cycle, the loop we were in it, was advancing. The cycle was giving to nature, taking from nature, and giving to nature back again. Sometimes we were giving to birth way, so that we was ruining the nature, and then we have to fix it again, so that we were giving in a better way, but we were then taking from nature again. So this was a loop and circle, and at this exact point, we were exhausted. We were confused because we didn't know how much part of we are of this issue. So that our unpredictable outcome was like a hero. It ran and saved us because philosophical thought was only thing that help you to make sense of unknown thing. So our mind worked flawless at this point. Both unpredictable and predictable data completed each other. And this was actually the advantage that helped our kind to be that strong in nature. We, Homo sapienses, was born 300,000 years ago. We were once Homo floresiensis, Homo erectus, Homo habilis, and now we are Homo sapiens kind. And since we are Homo sapiens for the longest time, we haven't evolved biologically. So that the brain, the shape of our brain didn't change. So the working system of our mind didn't change too. So we still have some questions. For example, why we are here? Are we belong here? And we still cannot find the answer of these questions. And this is exactly where the philosophy was born. Do you know what philosophy is? It is actually not solution, because you may say that we are questioning some stuffs, for example, the existence of God or the space-time or the concept of time. And we were questioning them since our caveman ancestors appeared, and we are still questioning them. So it is, what does philosophy work for, you may say? It is actually not a solution. Philosophy is not a solution. Philosophy is thinking deeply on the things that has no solution. So also, you may consider that philosophy is thinking about human mind. Why? Can't I think about God's existence and it would be a philosophical thought? Of course it would be, but you have to consider that philosophical thought finds its place on the human mind. And that is why philosophical thought is only limited by the borders of mind. So when you're actually thinking about God's existence, you're thinking about the borders of your mind that is given by God to you. And from our ancestors to here, in every age, in every civilization, we had some modern thoughts. We had some modern existentialist thoughts. And we also have our modern in today's world. And to predict and understand the future, if you have to know your modern, then let's take a look at some modern philosophical thoughts. But I will first ask you a question. You all take inspiration, right? I mean, in your daily life, you inspire, you take inspirations, and you do some brilliant stuffs. For example, you create some art or scientific product. And I am also creating, and I'm an artist actually. I am a painter. And while I was working one of my most detailed works, I was asking myself this question: why am I doing this? Like literally, it was so exhausting that I started to question life, and I asked this question: what am I doing, and why am I doing this? The surface answer is really basic, actually. I am doing this art because I had to open my exhibition. I needed an exhibition because I had to show something to university to be applied and to get accepted. So why am I getting to university? Because I need a job. Why do I need a job? Because I have to earn money. Why I have to earn money? Because I need a good life. Define good life. I have to be happy. Yes, but then your answer is actually wrong, because you do contact happiness by earning money, and maybe it is happiness for you. But let me ask you a question. I could also go and be a biology teacher, and why did I choose to be an artist? The answer is that I know a man who is called Maslow. I don't know if you heard of him, but Maslow is a worldwide famous psychologist who had his own hierarchy of needs. He said that in order to a person to be fully successful, fully healthy and happy, actually, they need some things in life. And he had the hierarchy, the pyramid of these necessities. And the first layers, for example, it was related with food. They had some place to sleep, and they need a family to take care of them. But after that, we had some layers, 2 layers. And first of them was self-esteem, and the second was self-actualization. And actually, I immediately started to realize some things. I was doing this art. I could have done some other jobs too, but I planned to apply university with my portfolio because I thought that maybe my art would help me to get self-esteem. I didn't actually consciously thought about that, but you know, to actualize yourself, you had a self-esteem. And I know sometimes you say that I don't care about what other people think about me, but actually you should. I will talk about that, but do you know some parents who reprimand their kids when they do mistakes? They say, go to your room and don't come nearby us till you understand your mistake. Was your parents doing such things to you? Mine were doing, actually. And some psychologists actually said that it is a wrong way to reprimand the kid, because then kid will think that they will be isolated every time they do mistakes in the society. But some other psychologists say that no, it is true, because it is like that actually. When you're doing some mistake, you are isolated by society, because it is related to evolution. Think about your ancestors. When we were Homo sapiens, the first ancestor of ours, we were living as communes, as we're still doing, but it was a bit different because they were living in the wildlife, and it was really dangerous to make mistake because you had to care about what other people think, what other members of your commune thought. Because if you do something that opposes their mind, then you may have been isolated from the group, and in wildlife it was terrifying. It was deathful, literally. So this is all you had to take care of. But what if not? I mean, what if I don't take care of them thought? If I stand in the wildlife and say, okay, my commune, you go, what happens to me? Basically, you die. And what if I die? That was actually the Shakespeare's Hamlet's Act 3, Scene 1's main idea. To be or not to be, that's the question. And some existentialists says this question is the only question you have to consider. Albert Camus, one of the well-known existentialists, he said that the only important question in life is that should I kill myself right now or go to kitchen and eat an apple? So existentialism is one of my first ideas. I'll be serving 4 ideas. And in existentialism, people say that contrary to Platon things, ancient Greek philosopher, essence is coming after the existence. So that there isn't any predetermined aim or essence in your born, essence in your creation, and God as an authority isn't creating all those things something in mind. So if such authority isn't concerned with your being, you are actually born with any importance in your action, which is absurdity, we call in existentialism. Absurdity literally means searching for an answer in an answerless world. We were doing this, but also existentialists say that you have to existentialists say you don't have to go on somebody else's path. Yes, that is my point. The thing is, the only way to live the correct life is to create your own path, because they say that any authority you can think of, your father, your mother, your school teachers, or the government itself, if you are going by their path, if it is somebody's path that is told by you that you're going, then it is 100% wrong. One should make their own way, because it is in the base, your creation is meaningless, so that you have to create your own meaning. Existentialist says that. And also, there is another idea, which is anti-natalism. Anti-natalism says, no, you don't have to create an idea because you don't have to be. What does that mean? You actually shouldn't give born to a child. Says people shouldn't have produced offsprings. We shouldn't have kids because it's actually hurtful. Why? Because if you consider, you cannot know the person that you're giving birth to, if it is better for them to be not to be, if it is better for them to not to be, so that it is meaningless, because you cannot know. All the people, we are actually, we don't have any right to speak, and we don't have any free will in our existence, and it is absurd, so that it is morally wrong to have kids, anti-natalism says. And also, as humans, humankind, we are hurtful to environment, because, climate crisis, didn't polar bears create the climate crisis? We as humans did. So that it is better for human to not to be. There isn't any human population be there. And another idea is actually anthropocentrism, which literally opposes this idea, because anthropocentrism says that everything is actually created for human being. Human is the center of universe, so every animal, every plant that you can think of is the benefit of human, is for the benefit of human. And the last idea is pantheism. Pantheism says that it isn't, they are not for human, because you cannot distinguish any difference between human, God, and nature, because God is everything and everything is God itself. And as physicist Einstein said, I don't believe any God who is interfering people's job and writing down their fate, because universe had its own laws. So that I believe in Spinoza's God, who is in the absolute harmony of being. Spinoza was one of the pantheist philosophers. And this is all, actually. That are my ideas. And I want to ask you a question. As some anti-natalist says, do you believe that humankind is actually becoming the dangerous one? Because we are unceasingly thinking, but we are thinking on wars sometimes, on nuclear weapons, on biochemical ones, so that we are ruining ourselves. And some people even say that AI may end our civilization. So I don't know if you believe this, but do you consider that what started evolution can end evolution, the inspiration? After all, as humans, we did all of them just to define ourselves in the nature. We sometimes did this by accepting the nature, by opposing the nature, by cannot finding a place in nature for ourselves, but we did to ask the question why, and simultaneously we asked what if. Thank you for listening. And also, you have to ask yourself the question, what should I be? What I want to be? Because as some existentialists say, maybe it is the only way to create your own path. Maybe, for example, if you say, I want to be a happy person, you have to create your own meaning. Thank you.